The Detroit Lions were busy in free agency, and when this team already is in the threatening to win the North, it's kind of it strikes fear into teams like the Vikings as well as the Bears. The Lions are just going to be one of those guys, a team, excuse me, that comes out and just shocks people. And I think, like I said, the teams like the Vikings, the Bears, and the Packers need to take heed of what the Detroit Lions are doing because they're going to be a serious team moving forward. But today we're giving our 2023 Detroit Lions free agency recap because, yes, what they did deserves a lot of respect, and you need to at least take into consideration all the moves that they make and will continue to make, especially with 2 first-round picks in the draft. Now, to get started, it's just a recap. It's just business. So, just a recap. Yes, if you weren't thinking of Monsters versus Aliens, you were definitely lying to yourself because every time I think of somebody saying just a recap, you got to think of that movie. So, you got to go in here start by talking about Cameron Sutton coming over from the Steelers. So, Jeff Okudah, as well as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, all those guys coming over. This is going to be a very tough secondary. But talking about Cameron Sutton specifically, 43 tackles, 3 picks, and a 71.6 PFF grade last year. Yeah, you love it. He's going to be definitely a good addition for the Lions. Got to start right away came in on a 3-year, $33 million deal, so he's going to be there for a while. And overall, yes, he's just a plug-and-play guy immediately that strengthens this secondary. Also, bringing in David Montgomery from the Bears, come on. That's just ruthless. He signed a 3-year, $18 million deal. Last year for Chicago, he had over 1,100 all-purpose yards and 6 touchdowns. Yeah, the absolutely huge signing, especially after losing Jamal Williams, who we will get into in just a second. But I love the signing of bringing in David Montgomery, and it's definitely something to look at. So, safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I love this guy. He's going to be a huge find for the Lions. I would have liked to see them sign him to a little bit of a longer contract, but a 1-year, $6.5 million contract is an absolute bargain for one of the best safeties in the NFL. 67 tackles last year and a sack for the Eagles, as well as 6 interceptions and a 63.9 PFF grade. And he gets in the head of opposing receivers. You're going to see it. I'm telling you, this is going to be a really good find for the Lions. Cornerback Emmanuel Mosley from the 49ers, signing a 1-year, $6 million contract. Really like the value here. I think he's going to be a guy that once he gets more of an opportunity, I think he's going to do some special things. But last year for the 49ers, 22 tackles, a pick 6, and a 70.9 PFF grade. Yes, the secondary is just looking nasty. Then yes, Graham Glasgow coming over from the Broncos on a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. He played 929 snaps last year for Denver, had 10 penalties, 5 sacks, and a 59.3 PFF grade. We'll have to see how it all pans out, but overall, I think he's going to be a solid addition to the offensive line, and you'll love to see it. Now, who did they lose? So Jamal Williams, yes, the dude had 17 billion touchdowns last year. It is a loss, but overall, a 3-year, $12 million deal with the Saints. I mean, you figure, you pay $6 million a year to David Montgomery. Maybe you'd want to keep Jamal Williams, but overall, David Montgomery is a stud too. But losing Jamal Williams, not the end of the world because you did bring in David Montgomery. Mike Hughes, the former Vikings first-round pick, signed a 2-year deal worth $7 million with the Falcons. Last year for the Lions, he had 51 tackles, a pass deflection, and a 59.9 PFF grade. So, and again, you already replaced him with Cam Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley, so you're not really that worried about it. Linebacker Chris Board, signing a 2-year, $5 million with the Patriots. 21 tackles last year for Detroit and a 64.4 PFF grade. If anybody's going to get the most out of this guy, it's going to be the Patriots, unfortunately. Evan Brown, also losing him to the Seahawks on a 1-year, $2.25 million deal. 668 snaps last year, 6 penalties, only 2 sacks, and 64.8 PFF grade. It is what it is. I still think that Graham Glasgow is going to just come in and do his thing. So really, no harm, no foul there. It is what it is. I think Glasgow is a center, if I'm not mistaken, but overall, it doesn't matter. I think you could put Glasgow in for Brown, and you're happy with the outcome. Safety Deshaun Elliott on a 1-year, $1.7 million deal. He went to the Dolphins, that is, 96 total tackles and a pick and a 66.5 PFF grade. But again, you replaced him with a CGJ there, so you're not really that worried about it. Linebacker Josh Woods, 1-year deal with the Cardinals. 14 tackles, 37.6 PFF grade. You'll find his replacement in the draft. Amani Aruware, 1-year deal with the Giants. Did not see the specifics on that, but last year did kind of struggle in a lot of different spots, but 44 tackles and 3 passes defensed and a 30.0 PFF grade. Again, you took care of it in free agency. You're not worried about it. Then Austin Bryant on a 1-year deal with the 49ers, 9 tackles and a 51.2 PFF grade. So again, a couple of big losses there, but you did make up for it in free agent, so you're not. So the Lions are actually in really good shape heading into the draft. And then who'd you keep? So you kept Alex Anzalone on a 3-year, $18.75 million contract, over 120 tackles for the Lions last year, 1.5 sacks, a pick, and a 59.2 PFF grade. I like the value here. I like the contract. I think he is going to be a guy that obviously sticks around and does some great things. Him and Rodriguez are going to be a lot of fun. They're honestly absolute studs in the middle there for Detroit. So also John Kaminsky coming back on a 2-year, $8.5 million deal. He's a leader. He's a leader on the defense, 30 tackles, 4 sacks, and a 68.2 PFF grade. You love to see it. He's back, even though this defensive line for the Lions is just stacked. I mean, you got Aiden Hutchinson, John Kaminsky, James Houston. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. Then you also signed kicker Michael Bagley on a 1-year, $1.2 million deal. In only 12 games last year, he was 20 for 24. Didn't miss a single extra point and had a long of 53. So a good contract there for Michael Bagley to be able to come in and see if he can, kind of have a prove it deal. And then Matt Nelson finally signed a 1-year, $1 million deal, 70 snaps, couple of penalties last year. Hey, just gives him an opportunity to come in and compete, and you absolutely love to see it. And you know what? I truthfully believe that the Lions are in a really good spot heading into the draft. They lost some dudes in free agency, but they're able to replace them. Cam Sutton, David Montgomery, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, Graham Glasgow. You brought in 4 starters right there, 5 starters. Also, the long snapper, Jake McQuaid. You can't forget him coming in from the Cowboys. And who knows to put what stats do you put for that? Like, he didn't snap it over the head that often, but overall, they lost some players, but they brought even more in, especially on better deals, and so I'm really excited for the Detroit Lions, and I stand by what I said. I think they're going to take the North and not look back, but let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truly awesome. We love all of you. In the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes, and finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about our 2023 Detroit Lions free agency recap.